Flashlight, man, cool. Yeah, I was thinking about that, the whole recording thing. A couple of things that people are talking about are a little intimate to be shared with the mass public. I would say that what I typed out this morning, isn't quite intimate. It's not from a manuscript. At the first reading, I read from chapter 1 of manuscript after me. It's one of those things I'll be working on it for 40 years. Our next one, last month, I read from chapter 3, and I wanted to step away from reading from the manuscript for a little bit because I want to gestate on it. So I've been posting on a blog called Medium for 4 months now, semi-weekly. And this was something that I wrote, and I readjusted it on my typewriter. I'll tell you, as the last preface for this. The first thing that I was reading from, and our first poetry group, I wrote on a 1952 Royal HHE typewriter, wide carriage. It's my baby. Last month, I wrote on a Olympia 1977 portable deluxe made in Yugoslavia. And this one this morning, I wrote on a 1952 Royal. So it's a little sticky, so the J's are a bit off. But it's a bit altruistic, but I'll go ahead. When I was in high school, I used to have this recurring dream that I was riding a bicycle along a dirt path. It's a sunny day and a row of jack pines tower in the distance at the forestry line. In the corner, nestled below the canopy, in the open grassy field at the end of the long dirt road, as if beaming with coziness, is a small yellow and white cottage. I parked the bike, approached the white door, and am met with white beams of light. When I was a teenager, this literal dream house of mine was and remains a small house, a tiny house. When I was in college, naturally I seemed to gravitate towards constructing essays to reduce our earthly belongings, reducing superfluous plastic waste, and how to divest from fossil fuels. I don't recall ever quite agreeing with my peers' desires of living in large houses with pools and multi-car garages and pole barns out back for a workshop. These were all just unrealistic ideals of dozens of unused rooms. Mansions just seemed gratuitous and unnecessary to me, I guess. It was during this period of time of future planning with friends that I stumbled upon the tiny house movement. Upon graduating, I bounced around dead-end jobs and eventually found myself, as many people do, at a corporate 7-to-7 shift. I had my own cubicle with my own desk and my own existential dread. What happened to my adventurous ethics from college? I've ballooned up to 250 pounds. I am perpetually depressed. I've stopped talking to my friends. My love life is in shambles. With college debt, the pandemic was about to hit. My idealistic plans crafted during university were all still on the drawing board. What am I doing with the flowering creative potential I've been told I have? Internally, I feel lost, and yet I still see people staring at me, smiling at me. By what? My storytelling? My journaling? People around me seem to be uplifted about me talking, and my empathy and my perspective on life. I fruitfully enjoyed writing about nature and human connection to the life that is out there. What if I made this storytelling ability presentable? What if I concocted a story out of the ashes of what could have been into what I can do and what I have done? Last year, I quit my corporate job. As planned, I worked until I was able to pay the last of my debt. Let me repeat that in my head a few times so I get the message. I am debt free. I am debt free. I am debt free. I had a shitty job as a consultant where people yelled at me until I helped fix their problems. I got paid to address expensive problems, and when doing so, I did not waste my money on a new car, nor a house, as most of my coworkers started doing. I am here with an admittedly complainable used car. It just got towed last night. Side note. Not giving into lifestyle creep, I am laying a foundation. At this point in my life, I was debt-free, smartphone-free, and jobless. Free. I do live at my parents' house right now, as do a surprising amount of my peers. I no longer feel the negative stigma against it. Statistics demonstrate that more and more adults in America are living together with family. It's becoming normalized. In efforts to cover my bills and to help with utilities, and to be honest, to help me with my mental health, I took a low-stress position at a local natural food store where I worked for a year. My last day was on Sunday. I have truthfully smiled every day, every single day. It pays dirt, yet I have my baseline covered, and I feel better after work because all of the positive interactions with the friendly regulars and the great staff. I feel something has changed in me. I feel almost relieved. This feeling of life throwing me a wrench into a gear system is just what I need as my sign. Life is saying, sit your ass down and start that remote work you've been talking about to everyone for years and just do it already. This year, my New Year's resolution has been, this is the year. As in, this is the year I move into my very own house. This is the year I start working remotely so that I can A, afford the mortgage, B, be able to work wherever I go in my travels, C, be able to live a sustainable and environmentally conscious life. The time is now. Making this full-time gig isn't a someday anymore. Let me do this. We shall see where it takes me. I have years of material to go through, and the start of my nomadic adventure starts now. And you are invited to join in for the ride with me. Just know that first, I am starting from an absolute blank slate. I have 0 assets, 0 debts, and I have 0 things in my way. Let's get writing.